Hey everybody, welcome to Trade Tuesday on my channel. Second half, first half was over on Lisa's. You can go and check that out. If you are watching this later on, hey Greg Gazoo.
Oh, you're echoing.
Damn it. What did the fish say when he ran to the brick wall? Damn. That's funny. What did the fish say? My son Nick told me a hilarious joke. How do you know when a joke is a dad joke?
I don't know.
It becomes apparent.
Ah, that's pretty good. You're still echoing. That was probably when you're trying to figure out the sharing thing.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I found it. We're good.
Okay.
We are good. Okay. Now we find. Here we go. Here I am. All right. 5 by 5. Only dad's left. Oh yeah. So you brought up the Hunger Games, which is really funny because the Met Gala happened, and there was just like there's a lot of backlash, which is cool.
At the Met?
Yeah, well, at those people, which is good because I think we're about to do bad stuff. Because people are getting pissed at the right people.
Good. It's about time.
Yeah. They're not burning down targets in their own neighborhood and tearing apart their own neighborhood, which very interesting. You remember the Summer of Love after George Floyd and all those,
Yes.
that cities were burning. And, you never know why they do things. But then you understand. People are starting to find out that all those destroyed properties are just all bought up by the same people.
Really?
Yeah.
So that happened in I was talking to my son about this. I was talking about how like there's rumors that like the Tulsa massacre and like because they burned Wall Street, the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, and you told me to look into how our military even bombed its own people.
That was the first
there.
time the Air Force was used against its own people. We bombed our own people.
Our own people. But that was all about that property trading hands. Like, so they want it to be destroyed. So then that's how the was it the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds? I think it was the Rockefellers. Were able to buy up so much property and become so wealthy because it was, during the Great Depression, all that, and so they just took advantage of that situation and bought up all of that property. And now we're seeing all the commercial loans failing and all that because they sent everybody home during the Great Infection, and now all these commercial properties are failing, and it's going to be the same opportunity for someone with a lot of
people that
money.
can print the money will just print it and buy it up. It's like I saw one report that BlackRock in the last 2 years they've bought 30 to 40% of the low-income housing.
Residential, low-income housing,
residential in the country.
Interesting.
Think about that. Like almost half. So you're in your town, in your cheaper areas, like half of the property could belong to BlackRock. It just blows my mind.
Well, remember when Zillow was buying up a lot of that, and oh gosh, who else? There was somebody else, Zillow and something else, and then come to find out who are some of the biggest holders of Zillow. It's like Vanguard, BlackRock. It's always the same names.
Yeah. That's when you learn about it. Because I never knew about holding companies. When I was a young financial advisor, and we got bought out because we were part of American General, which is a giant mega corporation. It's a holding company. A holding company, they don't do anything, they don't produce anything. they just own other companies. That's what a holding company is. They just own other companies.
Wow.
And we got bought out by Aegis, which was Dutch from the Netherlands. And it was just when I learned, I thought it was like all part of the same thing, but then I learned there's only like 5 holding companies in the world, and they own like almost
everything.
That was the beginning of the red pill when I was young. So Met Gala happened. I'm gonna try and share this because it's funny, but it's like it jars you because you talked about the Hunger Games, and
Yeah,
if you, so people are pissed.
that was the theme.
No, that
Oh,
the thing is that they had Zendaya walked in, and she had like a dress with birds and shit flying off as like crazy, like something from the Hunger Games. And then she came back 20 minutes later and had changed and did a whole new entrance with a whole new dress. That was all super crazy. One chick's dress was made of sand, and it weighed
I
like
saw that.
100-some pounds, and she had like 8 or 10 dudes walking around holding her dress, which is insane. But it also
There was somebody else that had like this giant big black dress, and it had like 15 people
training to get a glimpse of this year's tributes, and the sponsors get to see the tributes for the first time. The importance of this moment cannot be overstated. Very nice. First chariot on my count, 15, 14, 13. This year's tribute is something exciting. It just gives you goosebumps. And don't you love how the stylists, they so clearly are able to reflect the character of each district? Right. There's District 4. Fishing. I get it. I like it. That's very good. And behind them, we have 2 power plant workers. Right? And then, what is that?
That's the one I saw. That's so crazy.
Welcome, tributes. We welcome you. We salute courage and your sacrifice. And we wish you.
What is in her back end? Her dress.
Ever in your favor.
It's nuts.
What was that? That Kim Kardashian's got something. She's packing something in the back of her dress. That was not natural.
With her,
She did not look like that years ago.
So tiny. They like I don't know how she did that without like taking a rib out or something.
So Dolly Parton used to talk about that she had ribs removed. I bet they're doing stuff like that.
I don't know. She got booed on the roast for Tom Brady.
I heard that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Because and I was watching on Valuetainment. This guy's like he hates her. It's like she's not famous for doing anything but fucking. That's it. And she even she made a sex tape joke on the roast.
And then her mother prostituted her after that.
That's it. And I remember the beginning with Paris Hilton. It's like they're famous for being famous, and it's just such an odd thing. But if you watch that, I love the Hunger Games. Great movie franchise. I like the new one, but it's so over the top and weird. And then to see, it's like there's no difference in the dresses and it's like they're becoming that class. It's very odd, very, very odd.
Very strange. I had only seen the one dress, the big black one, and I was like, I'm not giving this any of my energy. I'm
You can see
changing the channel.
just the weird stuff, the huge stuff. Was that Natalie Portman like in the forest with the cover? It was very odd. It was the Hunger Games. It totally was. Yeah, that was a real. I'm sure people don't even know where that comes from now, but it's true.
Minutes, I think.
It's true. Yeah. Right. What else is there I want to? Oh, we're talking about the backlash. There is a lot. A lot of people really pissed about the Met and how it's like so in your face decadent, so us and them. That people are they're saying, "Let them eat cake." This is this is the let them eat cake moment. With people genocide over in the Middle East, close to World War III, and everything wrong with our own country, with
and they're having a party,
and they're like
with $1,000 or not $1,000, tens of thousands of dollars, $100,000 dresses,
$1,000, like just the opulence and waste, which it's hard to be a free market person and blah blah blah, but to see that, it's like people get pissed at billionaires. It's like, dude, you could fix everything. You could fix this. You could fix that. The government could fix that. They have more money. They print the shit.
They just print more. Yeah, we've all seen it now.
I saw an interview with who was it? It was like he was trying. They were asking him about why if we can print money. Why
it's Biden's lead economic advisor. So we talked about this yesterday on my interview with Bix Weir and on John Claude's channel on Beyond Mystic, and he played the clip of the guy, and he's like, "Well, yes, the government does print money, but it's to buy bonds." And
it's not.
And he was like, "I'm not supposed to say that part." And
yeah,
like, but yes, the government does print money and it does buy bonds.
And then he was like, "What?" And then he said, well, "It gets a little confusing in the wordage." Like,
yeah, it gets a little confusing.
It's like, you're stupid, not me.
No,
but it was so funny. I mean, he was literally struggling.
Yeah, he was stumbling.
It was
himself
hilarious.
For sure.
It was hilarious to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I could share this one. I think there's some language with this one. But this is just like I just saw this now. I don't even know that much about it, but
damn program me. Look at the audacity of these motherfuckers. Fuck the Met Gala. We canceling all these celebrities and politicians. They have the nerve to celebrate. But the entire country is in turmoil. Yeah, fucking Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe, go to sleep, Sleepy Joe. That's fucking our leadership. Governments are corrupt. Money can't be found. People are struggling. Can't buy a box of cereal or a loaf of bread. And these selfish, hungry motherfuckers tell us to look at they goddamn program. Look at me, flash. I see a clip where J-Lo, her funky ass attitude was showing. We canceling that shit. We don't need no more celebrities. We don't need no more corrupt politicians. Take your Hunger Game ass the fuck up out of here. These motherfuckers have millions of followers. Of course they can do something. They can influence people to take a stand. They care about money before they care about the livelihood of America over their fucking fucking smiling and cheesing for the camera. Right as babies can't be fed. Homeless people can't find a home. They're all living paycheck to paycheck. They taking over 50% of our fucking taxes. They not paying no goddamn taxes. That shit is getting written off. You want to know why? Because there's a fucking such thing of donors. I understand business is business, but at what point do you wake up and say this shit ain't right? And look, I don't got no animosity against the Kardashians. Get your money, boo-boo. But at the same time, 20 of you motherfuckers and all y'all riches, all y'all wealthy, you telling me y'all can't take the week to go and help people in need? But y'all got fucking time to get dressed up and go to a Met Gala that don't even make fucking sense? Now, I ain't telling them what to do with their money. What I am saying is, don't fucking ask us to care about y'all when you don't give a fuck about us.
Well, that's pretty plain English.
Yeah. They raised $23 million. You know, everything stopped. Those people.
They raised $23 million for the Met.
Yeah. One night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to raise a couple, or I was trying to raise a couple thousand to help a mom who's traveling with her son who has cancer. And she's like so excited because we got some people paid directly to her, which was great. And then we got the last check in from the t-shirt sales the other day. So I was like, hey, I can send you a check now. She's like, oh, thank you so much. And, you know, they're having to keep 2 households, all this kind of stuff. But we can't, you know, it's still not enough to really, you know, make a dent for them. But every little bit helps. I'm grateful to be able to help locally. But that's what we need more of that, and not, you know, what does the Met need fundraising for?
Yeah.
But what are they going to spend $23 million on? New marble staircase?
Probably.
I mean, how does that improve the lives of people around you?
It's expensive to live in the city. It is, so you gotta.
Oh man,
you gotta pay their people. But I'm starting to see the anger directed at the right places. Like I remember, you know, when we're talking about the George Floyd stuff. The people went, they attacked the police station, set it on fire. Police, you know, evacuated. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. All right. And then they went and like started tearing up their own neighborhood. Like, that doesn't make sense. You know, what are you mad at that guy for? What are you mad at the dude that owns the, you know, the convenience store? I was like, I understand you're pissed at the cops. The cops did something wrong. You're down with the cops. Attack the cops. But people are, like I said, they're starting to get mad at the right people. They're finally getting fed up. Because it's so, we've been talking about this past like 2 years. It's not hidden; it's in your face. You know, and they're starting to talk to people like they're stupid. They used to talk to people like they were halfway intelligent, but were you know, they were stupid. And now they're starting to talk to people like they're stupid. Like, oh, look at Biden. He's smart. And he's just on fire. They're like, no, he couldn't remember like 60% of what they asked him.
Well, and for me, I'm not gonna, like, I don't even want to play into their mental illness or their puppet game. Like, let's have a conversation about his eye color has changed. Let's have, like, quit treating me like I'm stupid. Quit putting programming in my face. Quit trying to shove a narrative down my throat that I'm supposed to be a good little citizen and play along with and act like I don't know that this is all on fire and something's wrong here.
But and to be fair, you, me, gotta take responsibility. Have been idiots.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, this happened. Oh, did it really? Well, I don't know. Okay. You know, and I think they, like I said, everything that's happened is always to push further until they can get where they want to get.
To take more of your right.
I've said that for years. And then they pushed really far with the gingivitis outbreak, and they saw how far they could go, and then people started getting pissed, and they pulled back. Or states, like Texas wouldn't comply, these people wouldn't comply, and then people asked questions: why are you closing churches on every Sunday? People can't go, but you're leaving liquor stores open. The common sense started to come back, and it's been coming back for the past 2 years now, to where now people just aren't accepting it, and it's.
Well, and I heard there's a new infection that they're going to start shoving down. It's something about a camel something, and they're going to try to force the jab again and all that. I just don't see people standing for it. I don't see people,
Yeah, they were talking about
losing their jobs again, losing their homes.
They were talking about the next thing with the COVID outbreak, next level.
Oh no!
And everybody's like,
heard
nope,
a bird flu too.
We're not doing anything. Yeah. We're not doing that crap again.
Mm-hmm.
But they're, I guess it's not that they are stupid, but they still treat people like they're stupid. Like like Joe Rogan was just talking about. Woody Harrelson went on Saturday Night Live and he gave that monologue on, I got this script, and it was like all the pharmacy companies got together. They bought all the media companies and they owned all the media. And then they came out with this scare and forced everyone to stay in their home, and then forced everyone to take their drugs and keep taking their drugs, or else they couldn't come out of their house. He goes, and then the media they own kept pushing this. He goes, I threw that script away. It's like, no one would ever believe that. That's stupid. And then the thing was, then literally the next day, every media outlet totally attacked Woody Harrelson. And Rogan's like, you can't. He sit there and he said, the media is bought and paid for, and the next day the media acts like they're bought and paid for. It's just in your face, and people are just like, yeah, that's obviously in my face.
And what am I going to do about it?
And that's where we're at now. People are offended. How dare you think I'm so dumb? Well, you've been dumb. People
complicit. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take. And you get pissed off. I know, everybody does, because I get pissed off. But it's like we have to take responsibility.
We all do.
Let it happen. We've let this happen. The fact that your kids can't read cursive and write cursive, it's your fault. It's the government school, but how many? How many?
Yeah, but you're still responsible for your child's education. Yeah.
People aren't involved like they used to be. Like our parents, not even us. And when we lived in a small town, it was a lot more. There was a lot more involvement. Like the principal knew my name. It was different.
Just that accountability makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And calling things for what they are, like we said, government schools, not public.
Yeah, I love that. That helped me with a mind shift when you said that to me. And you were like, no, they're government schools. Just like government cheese. Stop calling them.
Stop calling them officials.
Yeah.
Public
Call it what it is. Public servant. Yeah.
There's something even more than officials. It was like even worse.
Leaders. We used to call them leaders.
Yeah.
It's like, no. You're a public servant.
Yeah.
That's your job title.
Yeah. And it's not, and that's the thing, it's not a negative. If someone's happy with that, that's why they want to serve their country, they want to serve their community. It's a positive thing. But they're not in it for that anymore. There are people in politics who are just in it for power. And
that's money, influence and money, because of the power that the lobbyists hold. The fact that you could know that, like when I am, I had him on Monday, and we were talking about, he used to be a lobbyist or do some lobbying. And he said that they knew they lost when this more powerful lobbyist guy walked in the room, because they could afford to pay him more. It was all about the money.
Yeah. But it didn't used to be. Like the evil people were in politics just for the power. You didn't get rich, unless you you broke the law. But just the power, they're already bad. And now you get money and you get the power. So it's even worse. And like the fact that they called out Pelosi and they called all these senators out. It's like, hey, you guys are doing insider trading. Martha Stewart is was a rich elite, you would say, and you sent her to jail for doing exactly what you're doing.
Right.
You're passing a law. When you're going to condemn this or do that. You sell the stock, you buy the stock, and it's recorded. You can follow all of their investments because it's public. Because we still can do that. And they're like, yeah, so what? Next question. But when the media is owned, they just go on to the next question. They're like, okay, next question.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. It is all crazy. Well, how do we get out of this?
I think it's got to break and be torn down. That's what I think.
I think the money is really what controls people. So that's why I'm all for like the inflating it to nothing.
Yeah.
And then have people see the value in gold and silver, pay off that nothing debt that's been inflated, that's stolen everybody's everything, and we start over from there.
I don't know, because people are dumb. Because this happened already. It happened, the Great Depression. I didn't understand this like when I was young. The hatred for bankers. People, old people would be like, banker. There's this John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase movie called I think it's Nothing But Trouble. And it's a very weird movie, but it's funny. Demi Moore's in it. This one guy's a judge. John Candy is a sheriff's deputy. And it's this little town in New Jersey. And he pulls over Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. And Chevy Chase is like a stockbroker, bond, something. And so he goes before the judge, who's Dan Aykroyd, super old. And he's like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm investment this, blah, blah, blah. Banker? He's like, no, not a banker. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, then they try to kill him because what they actually do is they pull over. It's this little small town in New Jersey, but they pull over drug dealers and stuff, and then they kill them. So then Chevy Chase, he escapes, gets the police, state troopers. I mean, like all these cops come, FBI, and he goes up and they're like, "You want to knock on the door?" And they're like, "Yep." So he goes and knocks on the door. They're gonna, arrest them and all the people there. And he opens the door. Dan Aykroyd, the old guys, and he's like, "Oh, hello. What is it?" And then Chevy Chase is like, "You're done." And he's like, "There's a hornet's nest behind you." And he turns around, and all the hundreds of cops say, "Hey, Judge, how you doing?" So it was all.
Oh my God!
It was all known.
They're all corrupt.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. We had this happen. People lost everything. People ate dogs. It was a horrible time, and we kicked banks out. And they did the dumbest, easiest thing. They did reverse psychology, and there was this the Banking Act went to Congress, and Brer Rabbit, the banks came out and said, "Oh no, please don't pass that Banking Act. We don't want none of that." And everyone's like, "Why don't you want it?" "Oh, we don't want that Banking Act to pass." And everyone's like, "Yeah, we want the banking back. Pass that Banking Act." Ha ha. That actually happened. That's how it happened. The banks just came out and made propaganda that they were against the Banking Act, and that's why it passed.
And everyone went for it.
People supported it because it was Brer Rabbit, the dumbest thing ever. And I'm just worried that if we go through all of it, people will be dumb again. Hopefully not. Maybe that, fool me once. I was an idiot.
I hope so. I mean, I think with the great infection, everyone's not going to fall for it this time.
I know, but you had the Spanish flu before the other one. There's, it's just, hopefully people are just a little bit smarter now and more jaded. That's the thing.
Smarter and more jaded.
Because I guess, back, I can see back in the 20s, people still like valuing America, thinking that we're what we were, like the new experiment, the beacon for freedom.
I think we were a dream of what people wanted, or we had a dream of what people wanted, and but we never were what people identify as America. We now see all the corruption and all of that.
We were for a while. I mean, we stopped slavery. We fought our own people. We fought our own families, cousins. There was like 700,000 people that we killed each other to try to make the world better. The first damn thing we did after we started the country was go and stop the pirates that have been plaguing the world.
That's true.
I mean, the first thing
that's where the Navy was created, right?
Yeah, and Marines. First thing we ever did as a country is stop the what were they? The
pillaging of the pirates,
Ivory Coast pirates, or whatever. They had been for hundreds of years. They have been ruling the sea. England paid them. Spain paid them. They just paid them off. Any small countries that couldn't pay them off, they got killed and they took their ships. And we said, well, let's make a navy, and we killed them all. We destroyed their cities, and we made them pay back those countries that gave them the money. And it was just, and you could see the difference. England is like, well, we could fight them, and it'll cost $10 million, or we could pay them $1 million. We'll pay them insurance. We'll pay the $1 million. And that just gave them more money and more power. They gave the criminals more money and more power. Mm-hmm. It was, and what we said, the first thing we did, we stopped that. So we were who we were supposed to be for a while, and still.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad you.
I remember my mother telling me about if we go to war, like until us. When a country would go to war, they would win. They won that country. They took over. And she said, if we win a war, sometimes we even give back more land. It's like we don't take over the country. We had a war with Mexico. We had a war. We don't,
No, we spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars rebuilding their country. That's what we did with Japan.
Yeah. And with the Spanish War, after we won, we weren't conquerors. We had wars, but we were such a different country. We were a new experiment, and some of those things have been adopted worldwide over the past 200 and change years. But there's not a lot of difference between us and other countries now.
But we do have like our military bases in all of these other countries, which no other country does. So did we really not take them over, or we?
Yeah, we really did not
have a foot
in their land at all. We're there for their defense and for us to have logistics. It's not, someone who's grown up around there. It's we boost our communities. Well, you can if the post here, went away, all the towns dry
Mhm.
up. So we
That's true.
pump money into their economy. We, no one's going to invade them. You think if that's the whole point, is that if Ukraine was a member of NATO, if there was military bases there, would Russia have attacked them? Fuck no.
Mm.
Of course not. So we're not conquerors. We don't take over. We don't get anything. We're there, uh, as as a defense, and they're partners with them. Yes, quite scary.
It's funny.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys Thursday morning on World Blockchain Roundtable.
Yeah.
What's the subject this week? It's something good. Let me look on the calendar. Oh, I don't have the invite on my phone calendar. I can't tell you.
Last week was
I don't know.
really good. Last week was very good. I've I've talked to Lee about it a lot because there's
Good. The what's wrong and right in crypto.
yeah, and I was talking with them about
Yeah.
like influencers. There's all these
Mm.
fake crypto influencers with like 150,000 subscribers, and all their stuff's fake. Their subscribers are fake. Their comments are fake.
Wow.
Their videos are fake. They turn off the likes. It's and we did some digging and found like there's these two or three new uh,
Did you guys do a show on that?
promotional campaigns. No,
You should do a show about that. That would be awesome.
it's so. I mean, you go read the comments and it's like this project looks very good. I like how you explain this project. It's never, Dogecoin.
Not
It
authentic
never
or
say what it is.
community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrible. What do you guys? Love y'all. It was good hanging out. We'll see you guys Thursday on World Blockchain Roundtable or next week.
I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered.